Hey everyone, welcome back to Big Feelings Lab. I'm Shul, and today we're diving into what's really going on with teen mental health. If you have a teenager or are expecting one, you need to hear this. So, Jane, what are you seeing in your work with teens that parents often miss?
Thanks for having me, Shul. I see so many warning signs that are hidden behind everyday behavior. I'm talking about 13-year-olds with real suicidal ideation, not just feeling sad, but actually having plans and writing goodbye letters. And then there are 15-year-olds cutting themselves so often that parents only discover it when it's too late.
That's really heavy. Can you walk us through what else you're witnessing?
Absolutely. I'm also seeing 17-year-olds who have panic attacks so severe they literally can't face school. And what really concerns me is that many parents are either um, completely unaware of these signs or are in such deep denial that their dismissive attitudes only magnify the pain.
And when you say dismissive, you mean cases where parents just say stuff like, you're fine, or it's just teen drama?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Every time a kid opens up about feeling overwhelmed or scared and a parent quickly shrugs it off, that kid learns that their emotions are invalid. They start to hide their pain, and that isolation is dangerous.
Let's talk about one of the big culprits, social media. Everyone knows it plays a role, but what exactly is happening online that's so detrimental?
Well, Shoal, it's like this. Teens aren't just browsing for fun. They're living in a non-stop, 24/7 performance where their self-worth is measured by likes, comments, and followers. One poor photo, one rumor that spreads online can wreck their entire world.
Yeah,
And even if parents think they're monitoring their child's phone, there's just so much they can't see, like secret accounts, Discord groups, and encrypted messaging apps.
that really puts it in perspective. Some might argue, though, that if parents track their kids enough, it should be enough to keep them safe. What do you say to that?
I'd say that even if a parent is checking in all the time, it rarely covers the whole digital life. Teens are so savvy at creating alternate spaces that honestly, no monitoring method is comprehensive enough. It's not just about tracking, it's about educating them on healthy boundaries.
Right, and that brings us to another huge stressor, academic pressure. Teens are juggling AP classes, extracurriculars, volunteer work, and then they're expected to sleep and have a social life. How is this affecting them?
The academic pressure is overwhelming. It's not just about hard work, it's a relentless chase for perfection. A single B, even a B plus, can trigger a belief that their entire future is ruined. It's chronic stress that, over time, really messes with their developing brains.
Some say that a little pressure builds resilience, that struggle is just part of growing up. Do you think that's true?
There's a difference between a healthy challenge and a toxic amount of stress. When every small setback is seen as a catastrophic failure, that's not building resilience. That's breaking a kid down.
And beyond academics and social media, what about family dynamics? You often mention that parents can be either too distant or too overbearing. What should the balance really look like?
It's all about being present without smothering. Your teen needs to feel that you're there, a safe person they can turn to, but also that they have room to breathe and grow on their own. It's a tightrope walk, connected without being controlling.
Now, a lot of parents see therapy as a kind of punishment or a sign of failure. Can you expand on why that thinking is so harmful?
Absolutely. Therapy isn't a punishment, it's a tool for understanding and coping. When a parent treats therapy as a last resort or a shameful label, it sends the message that struggling is something to be hidden. That discourages kids from seeking help when they need it most.
For parents that are still on the fence, what are some glaring warning signs they should really be watching for in their teens' behavior?
Look out for changes in sleep patterns, shifts in appetite, withdrawing from activities they once loved, and sudden drops in grades. Also, changes in hygiene, increased irritability or anger, even giving away cherished possessions can be red flags. Signs like self-harm marks or a sudden preoccupation with death and suicide are especially critical.
And if a parent notices these signs, what's the immediate course of action?
First off, don't panic, but don't ignore it either. Approach your teen calmly. Say, I noticed you seem different lately. Can we talk about it? And then listen. Really listen. If there are suicidal thoughts involved, ask direct questions about their safety, and if there's any risk, seek professional help immediately.
Switching topics a bit, medication for teen mental health. There's a lot of controversy around it. What's your stance?
Medication can absolutely be life-saving when used appropriately. I've seen teens go from deep despair to finding stability through the right medications, in conjunction with therapy. It's not a magic bullet, but it is often a crucial part of recovery.
I've heard parents argue that medicating is like a temporary fix and could come with a host of side effects. Isn't that a concern?
Sure, there are potential side effects, but when you think about it, untreated depression and anxiety carry far more serious risks, like suicide. It's like it's like treating a broken bone with a cast. You wouldn't avoid a cast because it's a bit uncomfortable, right? The benefits here often outweigh the risks.
Let's touch on another critical area, school. Schools can be both a source of stress and a potential support system. How do they fit into the picture?
Schools indeed contribute to the pressure with high-stakes testing and college prep, but they also offer resources like counselors and psychologists. Unfortunately, many schools are severely under-resourced. Parents need to actively work with schools to secure accommodations like reduced workloads or therapy options for their struggling teens.
Balancing monitoring and privacy in the digital age is another tough challenge. How can parents navigate this?
It starts with having open, honest conversations. Instead of simply imposing strict rules, sit down and talk about how social media makes them feel. Set boundaries together, like no phones at dinner, but also trust them enough to handle a bit of responsibility. It's really about building mutual respect rather than strict surveillance.
Can you share an example where parents got it right and saw a positive change?
Certainly, one client of mine was a 14-year-old barely managing school and self-harming. Her parents, instead of shaming her, sat with her, sought family therapy, worked with her school, and even addressed their own issues. 2 years later, while she still faces challenges, she's thriving, applying to colleges and building healthy relationships.
That's inspiring. So, in a nutshell, what's the single most important message for parents struggling with these issues?
The relationship you have with your teen is paramount, more than grades, achievements, or extracurricular success. It's about building trust. Be the person they feel safe with, who listens without judgment and loves them unconditionally. This kind of foundation can literally be life-saving.
Before we close, what are some critical resources or next steps that you think parents should know about?
There are several. For crisis situations, there's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Call 988 if you're in the US, and the crisis text line by texting HOME to 741741. The Trevor Project is essential for LGBTQ plus youth. Beyond that, consider checking with NAMI or using resources like the Psychology Today Therapist Finder. And of course, never underestimate the power of building a supportive community. Also, get help for yourself if you need it.
Jane, this conversation is heavy, but it's exactly what parents need to hear. Thank you for laying it all out so clearly.
Thank you, Shul. I really hope that by shedding light on these issues, parents and teens alike can begin to build a healthier, more understanding approach to mental health.
Absolutely. To everyone listening, remember, taking proactive steps in understanding your teen's mental health today can make all the difference in their tomorrow. Thanks again for joining us, Jane.
Thanks for having me, Shul. Take care, everyone.